Hello, dear students. I hope all you are safe, sound, and fine. Today, we begin our official video sessions, and I have chosen a very easy topic for all of you. And the topic is prepositions. I hope you all remember what we have already discussed in our introductory session about prepositions. And I hope you are familiar with parts of speech also. Anyway, we'll move on with prepositions. As I have already mentioned, for this semester, the textbook is Fine Tune Your English, and this chapter that deals with prepositions come under chapter 17 of module 1, and the title is Mind Your Prepositions. So, what are prepositions? They are one among parts of speech. I hope you all are familiar with parts of speech. Well, there are mainly 8 parts of speech, and they are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. Today, we are going to specifically deal with prepositions. Prepositions are the words that show the relationship between noun or pronoun and other words in sentences. Okay, so prepositions are some words that shows the relationship between a noun. I already said a noun is a naming word and pronoun is a word that we use instead of a noun. So prepositions shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and other words in a sentence. You all know that in a sentence there will be many words, and this preposition shows the relationship between noun and other words. So let us consider an example. The lion was sleeping under a tree. Now you look closely. Here, tree is the object of the word under. Here it's obvious that under is the word, the preposition word, and the object is tree. So tree is the object of the word under. So we can say that tree is governed by preposition under. What do you mean by governed? Govern means ruling. So the word tree is governed by preposition under because it says under a tree. Okay, now consider. Raman sat in a corner of the room. So here the preposition is the word in. And I hope you have already noticed that there are 2 prepositions in these sentences, and they are in and of. So similarly, what we said in the last example, similarly if we consider, we can say that in, the preposition in is governed, or it governs corner, and the preposition of governs room. Similarly, consider other examples. Will you come to my house? Into the street we go. So in the second example, will you come to my house? Here, the word house is governed by the preposition to. To my house. To where? To my house. Now, into the street we go. Here, the word street is governed by the preposition into. Into the street. To where? To the street. Okay, so I hope now you have understood the 2 terms, prepositions as well as what is a governing or an object. Which word is governed by the prepositions. And you have to notice a few points, and these points are sometimes prepositions will come after the object. In the last examples, we saw prepositions coming before the object. I hope you remember. But prepositions can also come after the object. Consider the example. Is this the book you were searching for? So here the preposition is the word for, and it comes after searching. So is this the book you were searching for? Now, what are you thinking of? In this sentence, of is the preposition word and it comes after thinking. So it's clear that sometimes prepositions will come after the object. Another point is sometimes prepositions are not used before words that indicate place and time. You have to remember this. Many won't use this concept incorrectly. Sometimes prepositions are not used before words that indicate place and time. Let's look out for the example. Please wait for an hour. It is incorrect. There is no need for the word or the preposition for. It's just simple and correct if we say please wait an hour. Okay, next point. Sometimes prepositions will have more than one object. Simple. The cow grazed over hills and plains. Here the preposition over is equal for the words hills and plains. So over hills and plains. So sometimes prepositions will have more than one object. Moving on to the next topic, prepositions are of different types and they are simple prepositions, that is the first type. Now let's look what is a simple preposition. Simple prepositions are words like at, for, in, of, on, over and under. These common prepositions can be used to describe a location, time or place. The simple prepositions are the words that we use most commonly. Example, he sat on the chair. She was hiding under the table. The cat jumped off the counter. So all these are examples for simple prepositions. Now moving on, double prepositions. Double prepositions are two simple prepositions used together, often indicating direction. Some examples are, now let's see the examples: into, upon, onto, out, within, etc. Now let's look. In plus to, into. They are two simple prepositions joined together and we use this as into. And then upon, onto, within. All these are examples for double prepositions. Now let's look the sentences. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. The baby climbed onto the table. She never leaves without her phone. So these are double prepositions. Now the next category, it is compound prepositions. So the third category, compound prepositions, it's also called complex prepositions. It consists of two or more words, usually a simple preposition and another word to convey location. Some examples are in addition to, on behalf of, in the middle of. All these are examples for compound prepositions. It's a combination of a simple preposition and another word. Now consider the examples. We were in the middle of the storm. Now look, in the middle of. It is a many words are joined together and there came a single meaning, and it is in the middle of the storm. My car is parked in front of the mailbox. So these are examples for compound prepositions. To make it more clear and precise, I have given a diagrammatic representation of prepositions. Now you just go through that diagram. There is a circle and two words. If a thing is on the circle, we say on. If it is above, over, we say above and over. On to, then to, into, to the inside, then under, below, beneath, all these things. Then through the circle, then in, inside of, within, all these meanings, something is inside. Then the next arrow, out of, going outside of. Then beside, side by side, beside. And the next is away from. Okay, so this diagrammatic representation will help you to remember more easily. Now, prepositions can be sometimes very confusing as we use same prepositions. See the example, on the chair, on fire. Sometimes in an illogical way. In these circumstances, under these circumstances, all this makes it a bit difficult. Now, till now we dealt with the easy part. Now it comes a confusing part where the same prepositions are used in different contexts for different meaning. Then how we will identify or how we will learn which one we should use. See, on the chair, on fire. The concept is entirely different, but the preposition used is same. Also, in these circumstances, under these circumstances, the meaning is same. But what happened? You just see there is two prepositions used there in the similar manner. So all this makes it a little bit difficult as well as confusing. Now you consider in time, on time. Have you ever imagined what is the difference between these two words or these two concepts, in time and on time? Now I have given the meaning. In time means early enough and on time means the right time. You consider the example, then you will get it. The party started on time because the guests arrived in time. Simple example, but the concept is clear. The party started on the right time. Okay, it started on time because the guests arrived in time. They were a little bit early. So the guests arrived in time, so the party started on time. Yet another confusing concept is in the chair, on chair. You may have heard these two types of words used everywhere. In the chair, on chair. What is the difference? Have you ever thought of that? The difference is when we use the preposition in the chair, there we have an idea of enclosure. What is it? The thing is, the chair might be having arms and it looks so enclosed. I hope you all are aware about the office chairs that has got two hands. So those types of chair look like an enclosed surface. So we say in the chair. On the other hand, in the classrooms and all, you'll have a chair that is not having hands and all. So in that we say on chair. So that is it, a simple difference in the chair and on chair. From this it is clear that in is used when we have an idea of enclosure. So now we look wherever or where all things we are using in. We use in to show positions or enclosure. Inside something, in the room, in the cupboard. Okay, there is a surrounding space and it's a closed surface, enclosure. In the room, in the cupboard, in the toilet. All these are examples. Then, in is used to express a physical condition. I am in good health. Okay. Now, external condition. External condition means something that is from external concept. In poverty. Poverty is a condition and it is external, it is clear. We can see that they are in poverty. So we'll say in poverty. And an external physical condition. You know that what is the difference between external condition and external physical condition? External condition, it is a state and it is visible in somewhat concepts. But in physical condition, we can feel it. Okay, in the rain. So that is external physical condition. Now, in is used when to express an emotional state. In fear. Okay, in fear, anxiety, all these can be used to express emotional state. Next, we can see that in is used to represent a period of time. In 3 hours, in 4 hours. That is not actually a particular time but a period of time. In 3 hours, in 10 hours, in 12 hours. It's a period of time. So for that we use in. Then also to express a location. And you have to remember one thing, that when we mention about these locations, it should be a wide area location. Okay, I'll explain how. When we mention the names of countries, continents, large towns, etc., we use in. In Wall Street, in Los Angeles, in Antarctica. So all these are a wide area places, wide area network. There we use in as a preposition. Next, when we use in is when we mention about a material something is made of. Okay, a thing, my chain is made in gold, or in bronze, in silver. So when we discuss about the material something is made of, we use in. Okay, another usage is for divisions. In 2, in 3, in 4, all these divisions we use in. Next is to express the membership. To express the membership, it can be my brother is a member in the Navy, or my sister is working in army. So they are a part of that system. So to express the membership, we use the term in. Okay, I hope you are clear about the usage of in. And there are some tricky concepts on in, and we'll discuss on that. Simple trick to avoid the confusing usage of in, on, and at. To every student, the most confusing part is where to use in, where to use on, and where to use at. Sometimes we feel that everything is right. So avoid the confusion to the usage of in, on, and at. The first rule that you all have to remember is you must use in when not aware about exact location. If you are not aware about exact location, then use in. And for exact location, we must use at. See the example. He is in the city. It's clear that you know he is in the city, but you don't know where he is actually. Somewhere in the city. But see the next example. He is at Bill's cafe. It shows that You are clearly aware that the person is at Bill's cafe. So when you are not aware about the particular position or the location, you just use in. And when you are clearly aware about the location, use at. So remember, this is a major rule. When in doubt, you must use in. Now moving on, here comes the second preposition, on. Simply, we can say that on is used to show position, on a particular position, on the table, on the chair. So it shows the position of a thing. That is the first usage. Now when we move on, it is also used to indicate a place where something stands for. It's very simple. If you know that a place is standing near somewhere, see the example. London stands on Thames. I hope you all know that Thames is a river in London. So the city London is standing near on the Thames. So simply we can say that London stands on Thames. It's very clear. Then on is used to indicate a means of supporting life. Clear? Look, he lives on bread and water. So supporting life, on is used. What a person is having to support his life. He lives on bread and water. On bread and water. Now, to indicate means by which something work. What is it? Means by which something work. The car works on diesel or on petrol. So, the means by which some object or some equipment or something work. Now, to show the direction, turning on the right. Very simple. To show directions, we use on. Next is to show time, we use on Sunday, on Friday. So that we use on. Then to suggest reason. To suggest something, that is a reason. It can be explained that. The simple example is, on my advice, he took that decision. So we are explaining the reason why that person took that decision. On my advice, he took that decision. So there we can use on. Now to show the membership in a committee. Don't get confused with in and this. Okay. We already said that before a common public form, that is army, navy, civil service, etc., we will use in. But explaining about a small community or showing of a small community, we use on the committee, on the council, on the board, on the staff, on the faculty, etc. So in a small community, to explain a small community, we use on, and a large community, we use in. So you must remember that. Another very important point to remember is you must use on after congratulate and compliment, these two words. He congratulated me for my success. It is wrong, and the correct usage is he congratulated me on my success. So you remember, after congratulate and the word congratulate and compliment, you must use on. Now we'll move on to some other prepositions. The preposition about. It is used after real dream, but of is used after an imagination. So there are two prepositions, about and of. When we speak about a dream, if it is a real dream, we use the word about. And if it is just an imagination, we will use of. When you consider the example, you will understand. He is dreaming of becoming a scientist. See, there the preposition of is used. Why of is used? Because it is just an imagination. He is dreaming of becoming a scientist. It is not a real one. He may become a scientist in future, but still it's an imagination, not a reality. So there we use of. But consider the sentence. Yesterday I dreamed about the movie Sarkar. What is it? Actually, there is a movie Sarkar. I have watched it yesterday and I dreamed about that movie Sarkar. So it's a real dream. So I hope you understand the concept. About is used after real and of is used after imagination. Now, agree with and agree to. We will always say that if you are agreeing with a person, we say that I agree with this person. And if you are agreeing with a concept or an idea, you can say that I agree to. Now see the example. I agree with you. Here the preposition with is used since it's a person. And the next example, he agreed to join me for the movie. Okay, here the main thing is joining for the movie, and it is a proposition. It is a proposal. It is a concept. So agree to. So these are agree with and agree to. Now next is angry with and angry about. You can only be angry with a person. You are always angry with a person and angry about a thing, a concept, an idea. Consider the example. Are you angry with me? There we use with, the preposition with. And there in the next example, see, I am angry about your decision. There the preposition about is used. And it's about something, a concept. Angry about something, about your decision, and not a person. So that is the difference between with and about when it is used in angry. Now, anxious about and anxious for. Anxious about means something you are worried. You are worried about. I'm worried about something. I'm anxious about my exams. And what is anxious for? That is something you are eager for it. You are waiting for it eagerly. You are waiting for it. I'm anxious for receiving the first rank prize. So think, just look, with the one word, the concept itself changed. The entire concept changed. Anxious about means you are worried. And anxious for means you are waiting for that thing. You are eagerly waiting for that thing. So anxious about is I'm anxious about my exams. And anxious for is I'm anxious for receiving the medal, the first prize. I'm very anxious for receiving that. So the meaning itself changed. Another preposition is made of, also made from, of and from. You can say made of when something is made of that thing. Okay, chain is made of gold. So it's clear. Chain is made of gold. And made from what? Shake is made from apple. There we can see that something is made from something and something is made of something. I think it's very clear for you. Chain is made of gold and shake is made from apple. Another preposition is into. You have to remember it's very commonly used in English language with the verbs. The verbs are the words denoting actions. With the verbs like bump, crash, ran, we use into as a preposition. See the example. A bus crashed into the tree. So crashed is a verb. Actually, it's a process that happened. And after that, we are using the preposition into to explain that. A bus crashed into the tree. The car ran into the garage. The car ran into the garage. So, into is used after verbs like bump, crash, ran, etc. Okay, the last preposition is remind. It can be followed by of or about. Remind of, remind about. Both remind of and remind about means you are asking somebody to remember something. Okay, are you able to remember this? You just remind it, or just remind this. Remind of, remind about. When it means to prompt somebody's memory, we are asking them to remember. You please remember. You please remind me of this thing, or you please remind about this thing. Okay, so these are the major prepositions. Next, I have given you some sentences to understand the usage of prepositions. Now we'll look one by one. You die of a disease, but you die from a wound. See the difference. A person die of a disease and die from a wound. Okay, next, you are asked to produce the proof of something. You are asked to explain the reason for your behavior. You suffer from a disease. You are suffering from something. You suffer from a disease. You go down with a sore throat. You catch a disease of somebody. You throw up if you catch viral fever. You are under the weather if you are slightly ill. If you own property, it is yours by right. In case there is a dispute, do not give up the struggle because you are in the right. There the preposition in is used. At a party, the host may sit on your right. If there is a field in the right hand direction from where you are standing, it lies to your right. So these are some prepositions used in sentences. You have to go through this. Consider which rule. We learned some rules today and consider which rule is used here. Try to identify that. All these are given in your textbooks actually, and since you are not having your textbooks, I am discussing it now. Okay, so now that's the end of prepositions. I hope you all are aware about this. We'll discuss this later in our interactive session. Thank you.